Hey, my name is Jeff. Once again, welcome to Breakthrough with Jeff. And I'm sure you've seen this week has been so busy for me. I've not been able to do a video, but we thank God for the privilege and opportunity to connect once again, through this platform. And so thank you so much. And thank you for joining me. And today, I want us to discuss a subject that I know can open doors in other areas of your life. And this is understanding and the perspective, understanding the perspective of death and the fact that every day there is something that you have to part with. It's not just the ultimate death that you have to make peace with for you to really live this life from a place of greatest potential. And so let me add this so you're able to hear me well. And so this is a subject that is almost like a taboo to so many people. They don't want to talk about it. And yet we go through death every single day. Paul says we die daily. Is an experience of life, and until you understand the philosophy, psychology of death, you're not ready to live. You end up living in fear, and letting people go becomes such a huge task, such a hard task for you, because you've not made peace with the completeness of life. It includes life and death. They go together, and it's a choice that you have to make. One of the ideas when it comes to people leaving us is most people see it as a loss, that they are, oh, this person should not have died. And most of the time we blame God, most of the time we blame ourselves, most of the time we say, oh, if they loved us, then they would not have left, they left the wrong time. And I've been thinking about this subject and thinking, wow, so many people are impacted by this. Why not have a discussion on the same? And so the first thing that I want you to understand is that life happens, in the box of purpose. We don't just come here. We came here for a purpose. There are agreements you made with God before you came here. Some of us made agreements of short-term life for your own reason that now you are not aware. Remember, your brain is in three levels. There's the level of consciousness, which is, what you can see now, you can feel, you can connect with on the conscious level. That's your brain. And that's the smaller part of your brain. Then there's the subconscious, which is a part of you that you're not aware. It's most active when you're asleep. And then there's the superconscious part of you, which is the part of your brain that is one with God. That is the spirit part of you. It's still part of your brain. And some of us make decisions on the superconscious part of our brain, and it's not conscious. And that's why we say that person was not ready. Ideally, people are ready before they die. I don't believe there is anyone that dies before their time. God will not allow that. You die on the time you're supposed to die. And also when you talk about death in terms of people leaving you, people leave you when they're supposed to leave you. There's no best time for someone to leave you. You cannot plan these things consciously. These things are done subconsciously on a deeper mind that is not the mind, the conscious mind. And so when you blame people, they should not have left. Some of us made agreements before we come here that we'll be here for weeks, for years, for months, for 100 years, for 80 years. We made those agreements with God. And when your time comes, your super conscious mind, your subconscious mind will be ready. Your conscious mind will never be ready in terms of death. And since we look at death, and when you're looking at our loved ones, we're looking at it from the conscious mind. Okay, so there's no way you can reason out about death from the conscious mind. And so People die for their own good. A time reaches and subconsciously, this is the time. I made a pact with God, it's time to go. So please don't spend years mourning people, no matter how good and connected you are with them when they are alive. In fact, where they are right now, they're wondering what's wrong with you, because for them, they are happy, they are blessed, they are fulfilled, they are healed, totally healed. Some people, because of their own selfish interest, they want other people to stay here longer for themselves. And while someone, it's time for them to go, but because of your selfish need, you say, oh, I wish they didn't love me. They would have been here for me. Yeah? If mom, loved me, should have been here for me. Hey, did you dig into their subconscious mind and really get to know her desire, get to know her fears, get to know what she was going through? Let people go. Let people go. And this applies also on death of relationships. When it's time for people to go and they want to leave, stop holding people captive in the prison for your own selfish interest. Let them go. They are going for their own good, and they are dying for their own good. Death is something you do for yourself. Is when your time is gone, you unconsciously know. And we're not talking about how you die. How you die is none of your business. God will choose that. But the time you die, you made that pact. And when that time comes, you can't consciously remember right now the pact you made before you came here, the agreement you made with God. And some of us, we made agreements that we want to be warriors. No wonder we are given tough times and everything goes wrong. Anything we touch just as a challenge. It's because we made a pact with God. This is the kind of life we want, of a challenge after challenge. We are warriors. It's because perhaps you wanted to learn something. So live your life, be happy, and when it's time to go, go happy. And when it's time for people to go, let them go. And when it's time for people to leave you in terms of relationships, let them go. Now, this is heavy for someone that has not matured to a place of beginning to live life on the supernatural, experience where you're one with God, and life is, death and life both are, death is just a transition of life. So it's just one life. You're transitioning. It's a higher experience of life, and it's not a loss. It's not a loss. Imagine this person is happy, and if it's a loss for you, it's because you're selfish, and it's because you think that they denied you something, and it's a limitation to God, because you're telling God then something is missing. You cannot sustain me, and you took something from me. And so remember, people are dying for themselves. It's for their own purpose. It's for their own agreements that they made prior to coming to this planet. Okay, so when it comes, your family members, someone is leaving you, welcome it. Welcome it. The Bible, Jesus said, do not mourn like someone who doesn't know God. Why does Jesus say that? It's because when you understand what death is about, then you're not afraid. You're not afraid of dying. You're not afraid of, people dying, because this life is not just about this sphere. It's not about just the existence of here and now. It's continuous. It's forever and ever. Amen. And so we continue the same experiences of life. So be open. See death as another experience of life at a higher level, and welcome it with soft celebration. If someone leaves, you welcome them. Celebrate their life because they lived their life. When you die, you experience and remember a remembrance of your agreement, and you make peace with that. In fact, there's a sense of completeness. At that moment, someone realizes, you wake up to the idea, oh my God, I made this agreement. This is what I came here for. My time is over. But then other people on this other side, they feel like they're being denied something because we don't have the whole picture. And this will continue for years and ages. people will take long to understand. But for you, at a personal level, you don't want to go through the pain of always feeling like you're losing all the time. There are people who cannot afford to lose anything. They can't let go of something, even if it's stinking and dying. They can't let it go. They're holding on to relationships that are stinking and dead. Because they feel there's a sense of, or you develop that need to attach yourself to people, to attach yourself to things. Travel light. This world is you made to travel light, to enjoy life, and to welcome it with joy. When it's time for you to live, live with joy. When it's time for you to die, die with joy. Make that peace at that moment. And another thing that makes people not really to make peace at these times of transition is because they feel they have not lived out their purpose. They have not lived out their mission. They never gave themselves a permission to be alive. And so they think they need so much time on earth for them to realize their full mission. Because you're here to fulfill a mission, an assignment. You're not here just to live. You're not here because God made a mistake. You're here to fulfill a specific assignment that you agreed with God before you came here. And it's good for you to remember. And you came here to remember. The time you're born, all of us forget why we come here. All of us, we forget. And that's why we come here to remember. And you remember your purpose. You remember, oh my God, this is what, and God is giving you hints with your talents, with your gifting, with something that you're good at. God is just giving you hints on agreements you made with God before you came here. That's why people talk about judgment. Because why are you being judged? It's because you made agreements with God. I wasn't there. I made my own agreements. And the deeper self-awareness I'm getting, the more I'm remembering my agreements. And the more I realize, oh my God, this is something I need to fulfill. I need to help people awaken to their awareness and live life of zero limits. I made these agreements with God, not with you, not with anyone. That's why people that, they are depressed by what other people think. You are forgetting who you are. You're forgetting agreements and that you're living eternal agreements that you made with God. And if you don't fulfill those agreements, it's between you and God. When your time is up, because you also agreed on how long you're going to live here. And you forgot about that. You agreed about how you are going to live this life. You forgot about that. So you come here to remember and remember, okay, this is who I am. This is the business that I came to do here. So when time comes, peacefully, you exit peacefully. And you are supposed to celebrate you because you've done your job. In fact, death is supposed to be a celebration. And I like cultures that celebrate people when they are dying. I don't want to, when people die crying on my burial. No, get out. This is time to celebrate. I've done my job. It's over. It's done. And now it's your time. And it's a remembrance that even you made a contract, an agreement with your creator. Live it to the fullest. Stop living for other people's opinion. Remember Steve Jobs, just before he died, talked about why should you live for other people? Life is limited. Don't leave it for other people's opinion. It's because this guy, as he was dying, he got a revelation about death and living, and that this is a transition. There's no fear, and there's no holding on, attaching to money. Say, I have so much money, but it can't save me from this process. You cannot be saved from an agreement you made with God. When that time comes, it's time to go. And it's play the same thing with relationship. Play the same thing with people. When it's time for them to go, and you have a peaceful life, you have no attachment. People come and go. Other people will come. God will ordain other people and command them to your way, as long as you are not holding on to people that are supposed to be gone from your life. Okay, so leave that sense of ownership. Be free. Travel light. Okay, not that people are dying for their own good. It's for their own purpose. It's time. And at the moment of death, people remember this is what it is. And you see, people that awaken their consciousness as a progressive work that you're doing on yourself, you're discovering who you are. They have a better experience of death than people don't know. They're just in darkness. They've never known why they came here. They don't know agreements they made with God. They don't know who they are. They don't know why they are dying. So you become a victim of life, and you think things are happening to you. Well, things are happening for you, including your life and your death. It's happening for you. When you understand this, you have a sense of peace. And I know some of us might be impacted by someone who died 5 years ago. And if that person has the ability to look on you because they loved you, they wish you lived a life of joy. Because they're in a better place. They are happy. Their life is complete now. So this is an opportunity for you to let go and begin to experience life at a deeper place. If you've not made peace with death, you've not made peace with life. You're not ready to live. If you're not ready to die, you're not ready to live. You're not. And so you walk through this life like you're walking on eggshells. You're always afraid. When is my time? Something happens, you're afraid. You hear something, you're afraid. There's no moment of joy and freedom and let go. You're going to die one day. You need to let go. Play it 100%. Put the volume up because this is your life. You made a contract with it. Right now you may not remember how long you contracted with God. That this is how I want to live. This is how long I'm going to live on the planet. This is how long I need to live my purpose. This is the difficulties. Some of the choices, difficulties you chose them. You chose all those people that are making you, get a heart attack. You chose them. Everything you're going through, you chose before you came here. People you've met, you chose. People you've not met, you chose not to meet them before you came here. But now you're crazy. You're mad because you think God is denying you the opportunity to meet those people, the opportunity to go to those places. You made the choice before you came here. These are pacts that we make on our super consciousness level. And if you can begin to discover who you are, discover how to, understand yourself as a human being on those three levels: consciousness, subconsciousness, and super consciousness part of your mind, then you begin to have a glimpse, number one, of your purpose, a glimpse of who you are, a glimpse of your agreements with God, and a glimpse of how much time you've got. There are people that know. In fact, they prepare their loved ones and they know, it's my time to go. We have so many examples of those people in the Bible that just knew. They got an understanding. This is time. And it was a peaceful kind of transition. And so fear not. Fear not. Live a life of completeness. Live a life of wholeness. Now, when it comes to death of businesses, death of an income source, that's another thing. If you don't let something that is supposed to die, the door that is supposed to open will not open, because God is working with you like you're being tested. That's how life is. Life is a test. You're being tested. Can you let go of that? Do you have the faith to believe that source can actually give you all that you need? And so you have to let go of what is dying for what is living, what will give you life to arise. You have to let it go. And so there are relationships, there are businesses that are dying, that are really just supposed to die. It's their time to go. So instead of mourning them, just make peace in your heart. Let them go. It's okay to mourn them, but not days and weeks and months. You're still crying. And here is an opportunity waiting for you, a fresh opportunity for you that has been divinely organized. Okay? Divinely organized. DNA. God's divine, natural, intelligence is within you to make choices that are aligned with your greatest good. And so if you're not willing to let go, the doors will not open for you. If you're not willing to let go of those relationships, the one that is, hurting you, the one that is bringing all these depressing experiences of life, you'll never experience what it is to fall in love, experience true love and all that. And that's your own choice. Maybe it's an eternal choice you made. But awareness, you begin to investigate. Did I make this choice? Is this the life that really at my higher consciousness I'll really choose? Is this life of my choosing, or am I being a victim of circumstances? And if you're a victim of circumstances, it's time to let go of that story and begin to live life by your terms and life by your power. All children of God deserve to live life by their terms. We are not victims of circumstances. We are here to live our greatest expression of our highest self. Thank you, and live free, be blessed, live at zero limits. Goodbye.